Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you for being here today for today's briefing, where I will focus on my upcoming trips to the Asia-Pacific region and the United Kingdom. I'll first talk about my trip to the Asia-Pacific region. On Friday, I will lead a delegation in partnership with BVI Finance on a historic BVI Asian trade mission to further build and strengthen the relationship between ourselves and Hong Kong, Beijing, Tianjin, Shanghai, and Hangzhou. I say historic because this is the first time that we'll be covering 4 provinces in mainland China in one mission. The main objective of this mission is to maintain the BVI's position as a leading offshore jurisdiction in the Asia-Pacific region and gain support for the continued use of BVI offshore structures in Asia. China is one of the countries leading the world's west growth, so we must use this opportunity to capitalize on this growth for our own development. In the past, we would have missions to Hong Kong and Shenzhen, but as we continue to strengthen territorial economic relations with the Asia-Pacific region, we recognize the importance of including missions to the other provinces mentioned. I must remind you that our relationship with the Asian market dates back to the 1980s. We have long been a trusted partner in the Asia-Pacific region. In fact, we have been fortunate to have been working with Asian businesses and individuals as they achieve their economic success. That is why we have opened BVI House Office Asia in Hong Kong to ensure that the region is supported. That we are uniquely positioned to further facilitate economic growth across the region and that our relationship continues to grow. As you are aware, the BVI has broadened our product offering in the areas of trust, estate and succession planning, investment funds, captive insurance, and business companies. We have also included value-added services, including trademark registration, vessel registration, legal services, litigation, and restructuring. This means that our visit to the Asia-Pacific region is important as we improve, innovate, and diversify our BVI brand. Hong Kong is a vibrant city, a key service economy and major gateway to China. We will meet officials of the Hong Kong SAR government as well as the Tianjin government as we seek to expand and deepen the British Virgin Islands footprint in the Asia-Pacific region and broaden the understanding of how the BVI is used in the region. I will meet with the Chief Executive of Hong Kong and the new Consul General of the United Kingdom in Hong Kong. Beijing is the capital of the People's Republic of China. The city is home to the headquarters of most of China's largest state-owned companies and is a major transportation hub of China. Tianjin houses some of the most prominent production facilities in China that produce computer components, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and holds one of China's largest oil deposits. Shanghai is a major economic and tourist hub, which serves as a prominent economic, financial, international trade, cultural, technological, and scientific center in China. And Hangzhou is a cultural and economic hub that is famous for providing entrepreneurial support and e-commerce activities. During our visit to these provinces, we will engage with business leaders, financial services practitioners, tourism practitioners, and clients. We will also take the opportunity to sign a memorandum of understanding with Tianjin, which will strengthen the relationship with a key province in China, and develop long-term cooperation with a commitment to provide services to Tianjin enterprises and supporting their Go Global strategy. In Hong Kong, I'll be speaking to the 2016 Business Asia Annual Conference themed Creating the Future, Leveraging of Asia Relationships and Technology with other featured speakers. These will include Director of BVI South Asia, Ms. Alice Donovan, Interim Director of BVI Finance, Mr. Lorna Smith, OBE, Chairman of the Board of BVI International Appreciation Center, Mr. John Beachy, and guest speakers from BVI firms in Hong Kong and Greater China. Overall, the BVI has been working with Asian businesses and professionals for 30 years and has become the jurisdiction of choice for corporates, joint ventures, and all forms of wealth management for Asian clients. The Asia-Pacific region continues to be a fundamental market for the British Virgin Islands. Around half of our financial services business emanates from that region. And given this increasingly influential role in the global economy, Asia represents a significant economic opportunity for the BVI, both in terms of financial services and tourism. A primary focus for this jurisdiction is to continue to be a trusted business partner for Asia stakeholders, add value to the services provided, and to support their ongoing economic success. From Hong Kong, I will travel to London for my annual visit to the United Kingdom, where I will have a full agenda. In my capacity as president of the Yokota Political Council, I will chair a meeting of overseas territories leaders to coordinate the positions on Brexit and other issues as we prepare for ministerial discussions with the United Kingdom government at the Joint Ministerial Council. My goal for the meeting is to see the BVI and other overseas territories move toward deepening our cooperation going forward on issues that affect us, to amplify our collective voice in the international arena to better defend our interests in an increasingly uncertain world. On the JMC agenda are Brexit and issues related to sustainable economic development, climate change, health, international trade, and the OT-UK relationship. Britain's impending exit from the EU is a highly important issue for the BVI, as our international affairs is anchored in part by the UK's EU membership, which gives us policy access in Brussels. I and other OT leaders will collectively call on the UK to fully involve the OTs in Brexit negotiations under an established framework for discussions between the territories and the UK. We want to ensure that the negotiations do not adversely affect our near-term position with the EU with respect to ongoing EU support for programming scheduled to expire in 2020. On the question of international trade, I will call on the UK for a new economic partnership with the OTs. As the UK re-emerges as an independent trading nation, the BVI and other territories can be an asset in facilitating UK trade with emerging markets in the Commonwealth, in Africa and Asia. We can also be a vehicle by which to channel inward investment to the British economy in critical sectors such as housing and infrastructure. Such a partnership would be a win-win for both the UK and the BVI. In the margin of the JMC, I will also have a bilateral meeting with the UK government, in which I will discuss my government's plans for constitutional review in 2017. As our constitution turns 10 years old, it is only appropriate that we consider modifications to our current constitutional arrangements to better enable us to meet new and emerging challenges in the 21st century. I'll also raise this in the UK Parliament and the House of Commons, where OT leaders will meet members of the Foreign Affairs Committee. The committee's support will be critical in building momentum for constitutional change. Also, the Parliament will meet members of the BVI All-Party Parliamentary Group, which is chaired by former UK OT Minister Sir Henry Billingham. I will provide an update on the progress we are making in the territory and have views on how we can strengthen our relationship with the UK government going forward. I will highlight my government's positive international engagement on tax and transparency, the imminent opening of an international arbitration center, and the measures we have taken to strengthen tourism. While in London, I'll also hold a roundtable at BVI House with members of the financial services industry to update them on the progress we are making with the BVI Forward campaign, including our plans to transition BVI Finance next year from a government department to a corporate entity that can better meet the needs of the territory. Outside of London, I will visit Hertfordshire County on the occasion of the 5th anniversary of the BVI government's Memorandum of Understanding with Hertfordshire County Council. There I will meet with a number of city stakeholders to celebrate the BVI Hertfordshire relationship as we prepare to launch a new round of twinning partnerships from which both sides can benefit. My visit will complement my hosting of senior Hertfordshire officials at my annual reception at BVI House, where I will officially thank them for the Council's generous support, which has benefited the territory in areas such as sports, education, culture, youth exchange, agriculture, public policy, and higher education thus far. I round off my visit to the UK with an afternoon at BVI House with over 50 of our students to hear their concerns and inform them of my government's plans for the year. Overall, I'm looking forward to long-lasting relationships that we will build with our international partners, both in the Asia-Pacific region and the United Kingdom, as I believe that the healthy relationship between the BVI and the rest of the world is fundamental to a quality of life, economic and social success. Thank you.